So, a company has come up with a way to use 40% less sugar in the making of its chocolate and still keep the chocolate tasting as sweet. For health-conscious fans of chocolate, this seems like really good news. But is it really as good as it seems? Precise details of what the company have managed to actually achieve are going to be kept a trade secret. But by looking at how sugar actually works, we can make some deductions and also look at a major issue. Firstly, sugar can form crystals, in this form where we can taste it the most. Sugar also dissolves very easily, especially in water. However, when it's dissolved, the taste of the sugar isn't quite so pronounced. This is why things like fizzy drinks and some foods like carrots, where they contain a fairly substantial amount of sugar, don't actually taste as sweet as if you were to separate out the sugar and eat them separately. Thankfully, for chocolate makers, the way chocolate is made, the sugar remains crystallized in its form, and therefore manages to taste really quite sweet. The problem for the manufacturer is how to increase the sweetness without actually increasing the amount of sugar. Most likely solution to this is to actually increase the surface area to volume ratio of the sugar. Now, sugar crystals can be made into different sizes. Again, this affects how sweet the sugar actually tastes. Relatively small crystals of sugar, but used in things like icing sugar, taste sweeter than the coarser granulated sugar that you're likely to use in things like putting into your coffee. So if you can add small crystals and prevent them from dissolving, they can actually increase the sweetness of the sugar they actually use. Another possibility is to create kind of like a hollow ball with air inside it. This again would increase the surface area with the same overall weight of the sugar. So these methods have been used to get the same sweetness taste, but with actually using less sugar. So this would appear to be really good news. It would be if sugar was the only problematic ingredient in chocolate. There are two main components of chocolate. Those are sugar and fat. And for many chocolates, these two items make up around about 80% of the mass of the chocolate. So if you decrease the amount of sugar in the chocolate, you likely have to replace it with something else. The most likely candidate to replace sugar with is something called cocoa butter. With decreasing the amount of chocolate, you may actually increase the amount of fat in the chocolate. And because cocoa butter has nearly twice the calories of sugar for the same weight, by decreasing the amount of sugar in the chocolate bar, you actually like to increase the amount of calories in them. This will not be the first time that manufacturers have made big fanfare about reducing one ingredient which is considered to be unhealthy, whilst at the same time increasing another. Many foods now have labels on them saying things like, now made with less than 5% sugar. Now this is often substituted for increasing the amount of fat in the product, or they may reduce the fat and increase the sugar. To know what's going on, you may have to carefully check the label and pay close attention to the calories for a given weight of the food to see if it's really that healthy as the manufacturers are starting to claim. So whilst reducing the sugar in chocolate may be good news, until the products reach our shelves, we won't know for sure, and it always pays to be cautious on these kinds of claims.